not exactly, in finance, it is called financial environment. Also, it is called as the Indian financial system. Now, what exactly the Indian financial system? Look to the slide. It's written as the Indian financial system is one of the most important aspects of the economic development for our country. The system manages the flow of funds between the people of the country and the ones who may invest wisely for the betterment of both the parties. That means what? While we're talking about a financial system, it is normally seen that flow of funds from the financial provider or saver to financial seeker. So give me 1 minute. Let me share one more slide. If it is there. Okay. See to this particular slide. What it is written? That there are two different parties. You can see to any financial environment, it was not only Indian financial environment, but you go to any country's financial environment, this is what the basic concept of flow of funds. So there are two different parts of the finance of a particular country's financial people. When I'm not talking about the general human beings, those who make the investment and who are looking for the incurring different kind of profit out of that investment. So that particular category is being divided into two parts. Fine. Look to the slide. One part is called fund seeker part, and one part is called fund provider part. Now, while we're talking about who is a fund seeker and who is a fund provider, in sometimes this particular concept is came under subject to discussion or subject to argument. Jemtiki, some of you maybe say that according to you, who is a fund provider, Pilamane? Who is fund provider or supplier?
Banks,
Investors.
Banks are the fund supplier. Very good. And
Government, something.
government.
Shareholders.
Shareholders. Very good. Okay, why I say it is subject to argument, subject to debate? According to your book, according to your financial environment, while we're talking about who supplies fund. Now, the supplier of fund is someone who is a household, who is an individual. Like we are the people who supply funds. Now, the question is where to supply. We normally make savings in a different way, make investment in a different way. Now, while we are making services, that means what? We try to, save our money in a particular financial institution where we feel that our money is going to be, subject to increase, but it was not having any kind of default risk. Got it? That's why we made saving. ବୁଝିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ସେଭିଂ କାହିଁ କରୁ because it is our hard money ଆମେ ଦିନ ରାତି ପରିଶ୍ରମ କରି ପଇସା କମଉଛୁ ତାଦେହରୁ କିଛି ପଇସା we try to save. Now where to save? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ saving କଥା କହୁଛୁ now where to save? We need to save that money in a particular institution where we are free from any kind of default risk. We are completely free from default risk, and also our money was not in an ideal condition. It has to be increased. So we find out in India certain kind of financial institution. One of the financial institution is RBI, where the people of India feel safe while making saving under that particular institution, and it was free from default risk, and plus it was definitely increase our money in terms of giving interest. That means what? We are fund supplier, and the organization, the institution like RBI, these are always seeking of funds, because if they will not have funds from us, then how the business will run, how the institution of RBI will run. बुझी होची जदि आमे केही भी पैसा RBI रे रखिबुनी भाबंतु गोटे सिचुएशन, टेक अ सिचुएशन दैट we will the all Indian whoever is saving money in RBI, they do not want to save in money in RBI. Then what happened? RBI may be collapsed. Fine. So financial, commercial, and banking depression will seen, and RBI is going to be collapsed within some certain period of time. So that's why what exactly the point of argument, what exactly the point of discussion is that we general public are the fund provider. So flow of fund has to be go to the fund seeker, who are the financial institutions of India, the government of India, or the farms or business farms of India, where they are highly, required of fund to make funding, to make investment, the creation of money, jaha bhi apan kହୁchandi, sabu painki these are the institution who always looking upward direction to get the fund. Well, for an example, there is a financial institution. If we will not make save, or else we will not make investment in SEBI, then how SEBI will run? If we will not make investment in certain institutions, certain business firms, certain corporate houses, then how the corporate houses will work, how the business industries will work. So as an investor, we need to invest in that organizations. Then only they could able to run their organization, they could able to work. Now that money definitely came back to us as within a targeted interest. So the principal amount and the targeted interest will be came back to the individual savers or investors, those who are saving or make saving and investment in the business environment or financial institution. Got my point, Pilamane?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So-
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So while we're talking about what is the business environment, financial environment, the Indian financial system has some basic features. What are the features are? The Indian financial system plays as a vital role in economic development. Fine. It will encourages both saving and investment simultaneously. That means what? If financial institutions will try to make or try to encourage the people to make savings and investment, then only the economic development is possible. It helps in mobilizing and allocating one's saving. That means what? If I do make save, so it is only because there is an increase of my money with a time lag, with a certain kind of interest. Otherwise, why to save? Tal to ghare rakhiba best. Mu more paisa anibi ghare rakhibi in my cupboard or my treasury. Why I make investment? Because my money has to be increased while I make a investment or while I make a savings in a financial institution. And sorry, it is the duty of the financial institution that one saving should not be in an ideal condition. It has to be properly mobilized, properly allocated in certain investment of the financial institution, where as an individual we get profit or as an interest and all. Now came to the third features of this financial environment of Indian financial system. It facilitates the expansion of financial institution and market. The best example for this point is right now, if you look around, you could able to find out there are so many small banks, investment banks, so many credit organizations are being getting license from RBI to start their business, to start their organization in a in a particular time period, or you can say that in India. So there are large number of banks, short-term banks, payment banks, credit organizations. Fine, they were started there or running their work to create business for the commercial banks. So that is exactly the example of expansion of financial institution. Fine, jodi government kebala traditional bank system upare dependent rahibo, if it is only dependent upon the traditional banking system, then you could not see a maximum economic development. Why the traditional banks are work with a in a traditional nomenclature, you can say that in a traditional way, fine. But when we're talking about the small banks, the payment banks, the creation organizations, there always focuses to the innovation, how to create money, how to create saving, how to create investment with a very minimum time period from a large number of population. They always make innovation to create that, and that is why expansion of financial institution is highly required, and it is one of the feature of the Indian financial system. Apart from that, there is a this financial system plays a key role for your capital formation also. So remember, the jadi apan jette adhika the rate of giving credit and recovery jette adhika badhibo, fine, apan jette apanko bank jette adhika credit dabo ଆଉ ତାକୁ recover କରିବ, remember, it will definitely help to create a business or to create capital for the people. এটা ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ capital formation ରେ help କରିବ. Came to the next one. It helps form a link between the investor and one of the saving. Just a minute. Okay. So it also concerned with the provisions of fund. So there are 2 points here need to discuss. One is it forms a link between the investor and one of the savings. That means what? These investment avenues, these investment institutions actually try to form a kind of a platform or create a platform between the investors and the savings or the savers. And the last one is, it is also concerned with the provisions of fund. That means what? With the requirement of the requirement of the population, with the requirement of the saving or savers or investors, the bank or the financial institution or SEBI,
Hello.
Good minute. Okay. So it will create a platform between the investor and the saver. And the last point it is concerned with provisions of fund. That means what? The organizations, the banking, the financial institutions has to look to the creation of different kind of funds so that people feel attracted. Fine. It is not only the work of RBI, it is not only the work of SEBI or IRDA of India, but also it is one of the look after of the government of India also, that more and more different kind of funds has to be introduced to attract the customers. Got it? So these are some of the features of the financial institutions or financial system. Okay, this is a clear picture when we're talking about what exactly the Indian financial environment. The Indian financial environment was being, subject to differentiate into 4 different parts. First part is called financial institution. Second part is called, if you look to this point, fine, I'm giving an arrow. This part, the financial is, total financial environment or Indian financial system is being divided into 4 parts. That is called financial institution, financial market, financial instruments, and financial services. Now, what these 4 components are? Remember, these are 4 different components who are highly interrelated to each other. Highly interrelated to each other. That means what? When we see a particular financial, environment or Indian financial system, that is being, moved by these 4 different, components. Came to the first one, while we're talking about what is the, came to the second one. First, second, second one is says that financial market. Now, what is a market? In some particular financial system of India, we could say that, Indian financial market is subject to available in physically in some particular way. We could say that the market is not physically available. Jemtiki, if you see the first one of this particular market, that is money market. Money market, that is not physically available. But when we're talking about capital market, yes, it is physically available. Fine. So money market is also called as short-term market or primary market. In some books, it was written that primary market. In some books, it is written as short-term market. So either it is short-term market or it is primary market or money market. It counts in a same way. So what is money market? Money market is a market where government securities are being sold. Fine. Money market normally operated through RBI. That means what? Government was not authorized to sell any product by itself. So that the government has to choose a authority through whom the product are being sold to the various entities. So the government choose RBI to sell its product to the various entity. That's why it is called money market. And the money market do not have any kind of physical existence of physical market. That means you could not able to find out a kind of a building where it was called a money market, like a capital market. Capital market otherwise called as your, capital market is further divided into 3 parts. If you see, the 3 parts are primary market, this one, primary market, secondary market, and derivative market. Primary market is otherwise called as new issue market. Secondary market is called as stock market. Derivative market is called as commodity market. So primary market or new issue market is a market where first time issuing of securities are being made. First time, like opening of IPOs, you must heard about IPOs. Are you heard about IPOs, Pilavane?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is called initial public offering, which is issued by the new issue market, where all kind of documentation verification was made. That is through the primary market or new issue market. When further issue was there, that means the old issues, further issues that is being sold in secondary market, which is very popularly known as stock market. One more market was there, that is called derivative market or commodity market, where day-to-day commodity was being sold. ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଦିଟା ଯାକ unit ରେ ଅଛି, that is stock market we will be studying and derivative market ବି ଆମେ ପଢିବା along with RBI. Came to the second part or second component, that was called financial institution. Now, what is financial institution? Financial institutions are those particular financial entities who are staying in a market. Fine, gote market re kon rochi, gote market re different type of entities rochandi. Se entities ko ame kohuchu financial institution. So remember, financial institutions ta physically available ruhe. When we're talking about financial institution, these are physically available. Why? Because these are the institution where product are being sold. Eita gote market eti product bises kari sold houni. When we're talking about money market, सेठी product sold होनी, it is only product was being assigned, but sold कोठी होची, where it is sold in the financial institution. Now financial institution is categorized as two different entities, banking institution and non-banking institution. Banking रे रहिला कोन आपनकर commercial and non-commercial. Non-commercial is equal to cooperative banks. Now in commercial we have public sector banks, private sector banks, foreign banks. Non-commercial developmental financial institutions rahila, so that was non-commercial banks. Apart from the banking, there is non-banking institutions. Non-banking institutions are being divided into two parts. One is called organized financial institution, and one more was there, that is called unorganized financial institution. Now under the organized financial institution, you could be able to find out insurance, you could be able to find out mutual funds. These are organized. Unorganized रे आपनकर कोन आछि, चिट फंड्स आछि जाउछि unorganized रे. CBLO, money lending and borrowing organizations, जो माने के unorganized financial institution. आपनकर एबे जो सब आसुछि कोन से जो गेम खेली किना आपण पैसा रोजगार कर परिबे पई, these are also unorganized. These are not authorized yet. It was not authorized from Government of India. Still, there are so many big names are being added to this. So many big names like also Shahrukh Khan and Dhoni, they are making their advertisement and all. But Pcp-Bee says, Kochi, if you play the game, it is subject to your understanding, it is subject to risk. So before making any decision, you have to take a clear idea that whether I am investing my money in a correct way or wrong way. That means what? When we're talking about unorganized financial system, it is came along with a different kind of challenges. एथरे बहुत चैलेंज अछि. तब आपण माने दले इन्वेस्टमेंट करिवे, सब चैलेंज को भाबी के इन्वेस्टमेंट करिवे. You have to take all the challenges in a positive way. You have to analyze whether the challenges are I should take the challenge or not. तापरे आपण इन्वेस्टमेंट करिवे. बट जोटी आमे ऑर्गेनाइज्ड फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन कहूछु, जेमति कि आपण SIPs रे इन्वेस्टमेंट करूछन्ती, म्यूचुअल फंड रे इन्वेस्टमेंट करूछन्ती, you are making investment in insurance, you are making investment in stock. So it was not having much challenge as compared to unorganized financial system. Eti gotti challenge rahuchi kono na, if the market fall down, so you have to face certain kind of loss. But if you wisely think, and while market was fall down, you sell your product which is highly available, then you could able to sustain in the market with a longer time period. Came to the third one. Now what sell in the institutions? Instruments are selling by the institution. So what is instrument? Fine. Instrument are of two type. One is called term based instruments and one is called type based instruments. So jodi mo bahut easy way re buchheibi, term based means based on time period. So what is your term? Do you have buy a product which a very short term product where the maturity period of a short term product is 1 year, or else you buy a product which is a long term product. Long term product where the maturity of the product is subject to more than 1 year. So what kind of product you really looking forward to buy? जेमती आमे कहूछु इन्वेस्टमेंट जदि आपण करूचंती, आपण SIP करूचंती, you should have to invest your money in SIP, in mutual fund for a longer time period if you want to gain a high amount of profit. If you should made a insurance, it should have to be long term. आपण अलगा कोनोसी इन्वेस्टमेंट शॉर्ट टर्म करंतु, एई दिटा आपण शॉर्ट टर्म करिवेनी. कोटा ना आपण if you made your insurance has to be a long term investment. Apart from insurance, what else is long term? That is your SIP. बाकी आपण जहाँ भी investment करछन, if you made in a short term way, it is your decision. But as a financial expert's decision, if you made these two investment with a shorter tenure, shorter time period, it will not give you much profit. Second question to type based. Type based है ला कोनो आपण से ये को जानतो नहीं. What I am saying that try to listen. when we're talking about type based it is based on the type means interest rate. One is called fixed interest rate, one is called fluctuative interest rate. If you invest your money in the primary security or secondary security, it must be fluctuative interest rate because it was directly connected to stock exchange. If you made your investment in innovation instrument or innovative instruments, these are fixed. So you could able to go for either fixed interest rate where default risk is zero, and maybe the profit was not as big as to the investment of fluctuative interest. But when we're talking about fluctuative interest ର କଣ demerit ପିଲାମାନେ? What is the demerit of fluctuative interest?
Due to during the time of fluctuating market, there is a loss of deteriorating of the capital.
Very good. What else? How could ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି? Why we should not go for the fluctuative if we can't able to take that much of risk? Fluctuation means with any kind of change in financial environment, with any kind of change in financial environment, the fund is being fluctuated. Got it? ଯେମିତି କି ଆପଣ ନେଇଯାଆନ୍ତୁ କି କୌଣସି socio cultural issues ଚାଲିଲା, କୌଣସି socio economic issues or challenges, ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ହଠାତ୍ କି the faced by the Indian government, what happened? Your stock market fall down. If suddenly a political environmental change was there, then your security organizations, the share values are fall down. So these are very sensitive. That's why the index is called as Sensex. It is called sensitive index. And these indexes are being identified and influenced by any kind of uncontrolled environmental factors. Fine. ଆମେ ଯୋଉ uncontrolled or macro environmental factors ପଢିଥିଲୁ, like economic environment, political environment, socio-cultural environment, demographic environment, technological environment and international environment, ଏଇ ଯୋଉ 6ଟା environment ଆମେ ପଢିଛୁ. So any environmental issue regarding this or related to this, if happen or challenges being identified, then this particular sensitive index are being influenced by that external or macro economical factors or environmental factors. And when it is influenced, it was might be go high or might be go fall down in the prices. And when it was on a situation, contradicting situation, if it is fall down, then what happened? Your money is being identified with loss. So that's why while we're talking about maximum Indian population identified with the institution like RBI, save their money with RBI because they are the slow and low earners. जो माने higher income रे रहुचंदी, those who are either have a large amount of time to certainly get information of this fluctuative environment. Jodi samay achi and you have enough information and knowledge about this particular stock market, tahale loko investment karanti. Otherwise, if you do have a large amount of money where if it is little bit loss, you could able to sustain, tahale bhi loko investment karanti sebire. But जे गोटे लो अर्नर जे कम रोजगार करछि, से सब बेले इनोवेटिव इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स उपरे डिपेंडेंट हुए, which are the part of RBI. Came to the last component, that was called financial services. Now while please
Ma'am, innovative instruments is fixed interest rates, huh?
Yes, innovative instruments are having fixed interest rate.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Especially while you put innovation, that means you liberate the risk from that particular situation, fine, or particular investment. You try to liberate the fluctuative risk. Now
Yes,
came to the last one, that was okay. That was called financial services. Now, if you make a investment, fine, आपण गोटे investment कले SIP रे. Why you will do investment? Because you need profit, and that profit is the financial services what you are having after making your investment or after making your services. आपण ଯେତେବେଳେ କୌଣସି ଜାଗାରେ savings କରୁଛନ୍ତି या तो फिर investment କରୁଛନ୍ତି, out of that investment, what you are really looking for? You are looking for the financial benefit. ये जो financial benefit कथा हमें कहूँ, that is called financial services, what we will get from the financial instruments. Now, that services of two types. One is called fund-based services, one is called fee-based services. Fund-based services called. What is exactly fund-based services? The fund-based services are those kind of services where we make an investment in fund and in return we get in fund. ଯେମିତି କି ଆପଣ ନେଇ ଯାଆନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଲିଜିଂ सर्विसेस. ଲିଜିଂ सर्विसेस means what? A particular ଗୋଟେ land ଅଛି ତାକୁ ମୁଁ 99 years ପାଇଁ लीज ନଉଛି. ତା ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ପଇସା ଦଉଛି and I will have that lease for 99 years what I try to use. Got it? So ଆପଣ ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଆପଣ distribute କରୁଛନ୍ତି per month, it will cost around, the land is cost around something like 50,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees, and for that I have already paid 99 for the 99 years. So that means what? I have made investment in fund, and what I am getting, that is also in fund. So ମୁଁ ତ calculation କରୁଛି ନା, ମୁଁ ତାକୁ subject to calculation for every month କରୁଛି. So that is called leasing. For an example, there are good example like something like hire purchase. Now hire purchase means what? I am hiring a product for myself. I will hire like a vehicle for myself for a tenure of 5 years. Fine, and for that I have to pay a rental every month for the hiring of that product. So that means what? I have made investment in fund, and also the services what I am getting, that is also services, but that was counted in fund. तापर आसता fee based services called. Fee based services are those kind of services where I was not incurred any kind of product or any kind of paisa in while I am spending something. If I spend a nominal amount of money, I am not getting any kind of product or any kind of fund out of that. एठी कोन होची ना, मु गोटे पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी पई की financial activity pay, I will have to pay fee. तार best example है आपनकर ATM card. You are using ATM card. Fine. You are using ATM card, and for that you have to pay a nominal amount to bank. That is fee based service. For an example, you are having a kind of a you are having a checkbook, and for that you have to pay a certain amount to bank. You are offering online banking services. For that you have to pay a certain amount to bank. आपण बैंक पैसा देदेले बट आपण ऑनलाइन सर्विसेस टा यूज करछंती. सेमते आपण नै जानदु. One more example is merchant banking. Merchant banking where it is a consultancy banking हमें कहूछु, where you have to pay a certain amount of money for the consultation. So consultation about taking a loan, consultation about the project financing, consultation about how to run a sick industry in a better way. So when you are talking about asking about different kind of consultancy, for that merchant banking is the institution who provide all these consultancy with the identification of certain amount of fee. Same the credit rating. For an example, your organization is a new organization and you are supposed to want a credit rating system for your organization through which you could able to attract the people to make investment. Upon the financial credit raters. ଯେମିତି କି इंडिया रे इकरा अछि जो माने financial credit rating करछन, and there are so many different organizations are there. You are asked that organization to make rating of your of your organization, of your financial institution. They certainly came and with the identified parameters, they will try to make you a rate. Now जदि आमे इन्वेस्टमेंट करूछु आमे तांकर फाइनेंशियल रेटिंग टा भी इन्वेस्टर्स देखुची जेमति कि रेटिंग हला A+++ रु आरंभ करिकिना जदि रेटिंग B++ पर्यंत अछि then we could able to say that it is an ideal ideal institution or financial institution to make investment. But if it is less to B++ like B+ or B, C++ or C, then it was not advisable to make investment in this organization because these are not profit making organization. And in point of view of investment, if you make investment in this kind of institution, you might be face loss. Now, age of credit rating painki, say organization got a fee douchi, credit rating organization go fee douchi for that to facilitate this kind of services. It is konosi product apano paibeni, it is services pauchanti. That's why it is called fee-based services. Getting it, Pilamane?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, okay, thank you. Now we will move to RBI. I mean, RBI padiba. I will share one more more slide. Just give me 1 minute, then we will study RBI. See to it, planet visible है तो मन को.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
मतलब क्या enlarge करती है. Direct or commercial bank विषय पढ़ियो मैंने मैं direct RBI विषय पढ़ियो because we don't have much time. That's why otherwise ମୁଁ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ବି ତମକୁ ପଢେଇ ଦେଇଥାନ୍ତି. Already these are being discussed in your BIM paper. RBI sir पढ़िଛନ୍ତି BIM paper रे ପିଲାମାନେ
ନାଇଁ ଆସିନି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସୁଦ୍ଧା.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I will not ready.
okay এটা ଟିକେ clearly visible ହେଲା fine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now what is RBI? RBI, as we all know that it is one of the prime institution of India in a national institution of India which is called the pillar of surging Indian economy. It is the member of International Monetary Fund and it is one of the pillar kon pai kuha jauchi because the if you see to the total population of India around 65, that means 127 million people of India having the account in a bank. So out of this particular denomination, only 24% of the population are making investment in RBI through these different kind of investment products. But other than that, ଆଉ ଯେତିକି ଲୋକ ରହିଲେ ସେମାନେ bank account ଖୋଲିକି nominal transactions କରନ୍ତି. Fine. While there is a huge number of population was completely depending upon this particular organization, that's why it is called as a pillar who is surging the Indian economy. That's why it is kind of a institution whose depression makes economic depression, whose development make economic development. Got it? This central banking institution was established by the suggestion of Royal Commission of Indian Currency and Finance in the year of 1926 by the commission which is called as Hilton Young Commission. These are the information रखिथाओ मन कौन ପାଇଁ कि ना जो माने किछि कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रिपेयर करंती सबले मन रखथांतु कॉम्पिटिटिव रे जेहेतु these are MCQ came, so these terms, these year which are very essential in point of view of preparing the competitive examination. So the central banking institution, where it was not named as RBI, the central banking institution were established by the Royal Commission of Indian Currency and Finance in the year of 1926, and the commission was known as Hilton-Young Commission. In the year of 1949, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, was nationalized and became a member of Bank of Asian Clearing Union. RBI regulates the credit and currency system of India. There is no need to explain all these things. The chief objective of RBI are to sustain the confidence of the public in the system and to protect the interest of the depositors and offer cost-effective banking services like cooperative banking and commercial banking to the people. So these are the major and chief objective of RBI, that to sustain the comfortness and confidence of the public in the system. If you do not have a default risk, then there is a sustainability, there is a confidence can be increased by the public. Then protect the interest of the investors. Kemti apna protect karbe investor or depositors interest. If you pay a kind of a nominal interest with a particular duration, if you pay a kind of a interest to the all savers who make their deposit in the bank, then only the interest will increases and you also give protection because there is no risk. Offering cost effectiveness or offering different products which maybe came along with the cost effectiveness from the cooperative banking specifically and from the commercial banking to the priority sector. Upon the example, to the priority sector bank was provided so many different kind of facilities, zero balance account, you have Dhaniya Yojana. So the people who are priority, those who are not in a they are backward in economic backward section people, for them the bank will provide certainly different kind of facilities. Either it is a cooperative bank or commercial bank, they are providing different kind of facilities, so that it was called product with cost effectiveness, and it will help people to grow. Now, if I'm talking about the timeline, then in the year of 1934, the British entitled the act where RBI was started, or RBI Act was started. In the year of 1935, Reserve Bank of India was established on the 1st April in Kolkata, because in that time period, Kolkata was the capital of India. That's why it was established in Kolkata in the year of 1935. Then in the year of 1935-7, it was permanently moved to Mumbai because it was the financial capital of India. That's why RBI head office still it was situated in Mumbai. So RBI was moved permanently in the year of 1937 to Mumbai. Came to the next year, that is 1949 in a timeline. In 1949, RBI got nationalized. Beforehand, it was not yet nationalized. So in the year of 1949, it is become nationalized after independence, and the bank was held by the private stakeholders before that. And after it was nationalized, the private stakeholding was closed down. So these are the timeline. If you remember, and preparing for any competitive examination, it will help you. Then what are the basic functions of RBI? There are 4 different functions of RBI. Okay, now there are 4 different functions of RBI. One is called RBI Act as a monetary authority. That's why he was implemented monetary policy for the betterment of the people, for the betterment of banking organizations, for to control the money and supply in bank, and to control the credit interest rate in the bank. So this is how monetary policy will act, and the monetary authority is RBI. Second function is regulator and administrator of the financial system, because the maximum population invested their money in RBI. That's why it is highly required to make regulation, to put certain kind of rules, regulation, and to create administration, or as an administration, administrator, you have to control this. So that's why it is called regulator and administrator of the financial system. Came to the third one, managing foreign exchange. So there are certain and different kind of, policies and, taxes format as being established by RBI to manage the foreign exchange and issuer of currency. So these are the four different basic function of RBI. Move to the first one. Now, when we're talking about monetary authority, now how someone will identify this? Implementation of monetary policy, that was the first activity in this particular monetary authority activities. Second activity is monitoring the monetary policy. That means monetary policy has to be
Hello?
just a minute, పిల్లని గుట్టే Okay, so implementation of monetary policy, that was the first activity of the monetary authority. Second, it was monitoring the monetary policy, whether the monetary policy worked in a proper way or not. We have already discussed what is monetary policy. If you remember the monetary policy, once I'll complete it, then I will tell you. Third one is monetary policy always try to ensure the price stability in the country, considering the economic growth of the country. And the last one is, monetary policy committee, which is called MPC committee, that always try to, facilitate different kind of facilities to the people. It a committee have 6 members. Now, what is monetary policy? Through monetary policy, the, bank always try to find out the demand and supply of money. That means what? How many people are really looking forward to make saving and investment and taking loan, and how it has to be, increased, so that the demand of the product will be there and accordingly the supply has to be made. जिते अधिक लोक इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे, सेविंग्स करेंगे या तो फिर लोन नेबे, ये जो डिमांड एंड सप्लाई रो जो इक्विलिब्रियम अछि, दैट विल बी आइडेंटिफाइड. जदि डिमांड अधिक अछि and the bank will not able to supply the product, like maximum people wants to take loan, but with the lack of information, with the lack of paperwork, the people are unable to take loan, then the demand of loan is very high and the supply is low. Then also it was called a depression for the financial banking environment. So monetary policy ra kamo hala, jodi bahut loko loan nabaku chahuchandi, so what kind of facility that is being generated so that people could able to avail the loan, which that was called demand and supply of the loan. Same thing upon the deposits. So how people will motivate to make savings or deposits if the deposits rates are very high? Jodi deposits rate bahut high rahibo, saving rates bahut high rahibo, tale we all are being motivated to save our money or deposit our money in bank, like in a creating a savings account ho, or maybe creating a RD ho, recurring deposit ho, ya to fixed deposit ho. Jodi deposit rate no badhila, it was not, if it is not increased, then what happened? People are feel demotivated to make investment. So monetary policy ra kamo hela to make ensure that this price stability has to be made, Apart from the price stability, the the demand and supply of money has to be maintained. Bujhela, this is what the objective of price stability. Tapare asila regulator and administrator of the financial system. So regulator and administrator through the RBI tried to issue license to the new banks, to the new financial entities, so that there is a broadening of financial system has to be maintained. Second one, liquidity of assets. They has to look to the liquidity of assets. That means whatever product are there, whatever services are there, that has to be maintained liquid. Bank merger, that means if there are certain kind of merger was there, how the merger has to be made, how the merger will give you similar services. You could not be fined as a customer, you will not find any kind of issue or challenges with the merger. And the branch expansion, these are certain kind of commitment that the RBI has to made as the regulator and administrator of the financial services. How kon thila na managing foreign exchange? That was the next function thila. RBI manages the foreign reserves of India and it is responsible for maintaining the value of rupees outside the country. And it adds foreign trade management or payment system. Now, what do you understood by forex reserves? Forex reserves alla kono? If someone is making import from market or something like that, he has to pay a certain amount to conversion of money from Indian currency to that particular currency, and for that conversion they have to pay a certain amount to RBI. Even if Mr. X is staying in USA and he suddenly transfer the USA from USA to India, the US dollar, the RBI certainly cut down certain kind of charges of tax, conversion charges, deposit charges, so that it will create a reserve for the RBI. So that was called forex reserves. Came to the next one, that is called issuer of currency. Now, what do you understood by issuer of currency? Issuer currency or RBI always being responsible providing the public with a sufficient supply of money or supply of currency notes and coins. So the money should not be feel lacking. So anytime if it is required, so whenever it is required or responsible, it is one of the responsibility of RBI to make certainly the supply of money in a very high range. So ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି ଲୋକଙ୍କର ପଇସା ଦରକାର ଅଛି, so supply of money ହବ. ପଇସା କେତେବେଳେ ଦରକାର ଅଛି? For an example, a person is making investment and he want to withdraw it. Fine. And while he want to withdraw it, he has to pay, the bank is having a kind of a responsibility to, give the money or currency. What else was there? The quality of currency notes and coin has to be maintained by the RBI. So that's why whatever the, damages note and currency was there, that is being replaced by RBI time to time to give you certainly a qualitative currency. Then RBI is in a charge of issuing and exchange of currency and coins. Fine. When inflation was very bad, the currency was being identified or printed by the government of RBI and it was submitted to the government of India. Through that, through the government initiation, it will be sold through the government security products and the money has to be came to the market. Fine. And the last one, that was called Section 22, I think, from RBI Act. Also, the restriction of the currency and coins which are not fitted and for the circulation, that is also one of the major function of issuing of currency. One more function right now, that was called e-banking system. Online and e-banking system is one of the major focus of RBI. So that is not included in your syllabus. So e-banking and online banking system now availing by the large number of population, and this will be helpful at in a various way to by the to the RBI to create money, to facilitate money, to transfer money. So ये जो सब activities रही जेमती कि as a general well-being we do not have much time. आम पाखे बहुत time नहीं, so that we could not able to sell our product. आमे बहुत अधिका निजर product को ना sell करी पारुचु माने time तो नहीं, so that we will not able to go to the bank and all. आमे bank जाई पारुनु, so that through this online portal or through this online system we could able to avail all these facilities. Fine. So it is one of the work of government that a facility गुड़ा हमको दबो. Sorry, RBI रो काम है कौन ना से हमको online facilities गुड़ा को दबो, so that as an individual person we should not go to the bank, we should not visit the branch, because we do not have enough time, and bank will provide us services at our doorsteps. Right? This is what RBI. If you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, we will close down the class.
Ma'am, hi ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you were talking about forex reserve. So can you please repeat
Yes.
it again? Although, as you said, the interest that RBI is getting, that is called forex reserve, right? Or
Interest
the,
rate? What?
any interest that RBI is getting in terms of while
Like that is one of the component. That is one of the component.
okay, could you please tell about us other examples?
Of forex reserves.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about one particular company. Is a company X wants to import or export its product to the international market. In that time period, he has to take the permission of RBI of the forex reserve to convert his money to the to that particular currency, and for that he has to pay an amount to RBI. Certainly, if you see the vice versa situation, that means what? A company was importing products from the international market. He has also to do the same things by taking permission of the forex reserves of RBI. Fine. If you are staying in a foreign country also, if you turn your US dollar to Indian currency, you have to take a permission from the foreign exchange or forex reserves to convert your money to the Indian currency. And for that, nowadays these are all available in the online. It is only clicking to a particular terms and condition, you could able to convert it.
Okay, got it, ma'am. And also, if you could give us the example, like you said, it's about money, right? The money that whether you are purchasing or you are selling anything, that money you use, that RBI get converted into their respective money. Okay.
Yes.
But from that, do we have anything that RBI do?
I'm not getting it actually. So
normally, when you are talking about forex exchange, it mostly we talk about the money that we are either we are purchasing any purchasing any items, or you are selling anything. So in that case, we use the money, right? So apart from that money exchange, do you have anything else that RBI does help?
In what? RBI does help
in terms of buying bonds or any kind of international insurance policies.
Why not? Because while we're talking about buying a bond and all, for that stock exchange was the authority. Fine. RBI was not the authority. Only RBI was monitoring the conversion of money from your currency to somehow US dollar or UK dollar or like yen and all. That conversion time RBI was activated, but buying of any kind of security product it's actually the work of the stock exchange. So that was be looked after by stock exchange. It was not looked after by RBI. And what is reserves? Reserves means this money is being reserved by RBI for the implementation of various activity like repo and all. Reserves means it was being reserved by RBI for the betterment of the commercial banks and governments.
Okay. So even gold also we do reserve. Is it comes
Yes,
under?
yes. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay, okay. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you to all of
Madam,
you.
another small question. Madam, another
Please,
small
please,
question.
please ask. Please
Like
ask.
you have told, secondary market as stock market, derivative market, commodity market. What you have told about primary market? Other
Primary market is the new issue market. It is called as a new
new
issue
issue.
market. Yes.
New issue.
What is your next class, Pilamani? Ko class thila next Raji?
POM, production.
POM.
Production.
Acha, production. Okay.
See you. Goodbye.
Okay. So wait for 2 minutes to enter the production, sir. Once he will enter, then class will start. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
sure,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
thank
Thank
you
you,
to
ma'am.
all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank